Good afternoon to all of you. So I think I'm audible. And the thing is that yesterday we have a class, but due to some power shortage, that is still going on actually. So the class cannot be conducted. So we will continue now. So in our previous class, we have discussed about the data science fields and domains. Now, moving to the next part of data science, that is a part machine learning. That data science is a huge domain, actually, a broad domain we can talk about. But in data science, there are several parts such as artificial intelligence, machine learning. This type of domains are present actually. So, in data science, we need to think and talk about these things also. So, to become a data scientist, uh, we need to know many things. That is, the forget about data science. Anything we are going to do in the computer science domain, actually, things are the basic things actually require a coding, and before coding, the algorithm and this part. So coding and algorithm coding, these are connected to each other. So first of all, we need to think some coding, and then we need to think some algorithms and this. So first of all, sorry, slight changes. That first of all, we need to think about the algorithm, the process, and then after the algorithm and the process and the flowchart, all of these things, we are going to do the coding part. Okay, because if any type of without any type of algorithms or flowchart, we cannot process for the coding because it needs a breaking things actually. So in data science also, in the case of machine learning, artificial intelligence, similar kind of this thing, some algorithms are present, some machine learning or some artificial intelligence algorithms are present. So here some algorithms name are actually given, and we are going to discuss about this particular thing. So these are basic some algorithms, the name of some algorithm, that is some regression, decision tree, clustering, principal component analysis, support vector machine, naive Bayes, artificial neural network, and a priori. So these are the name of some algorithms. There are many much algorithms also. Okay, K means cluster algorithms. It is the different type of. There are many type of algorithms also present. So we are going to here are some basics and name of algorithm is given, and we are going to talk about this particular thing. We are going to talk about this particular thing. So this algorithm part actually we have seen different type of names such as regression, decision tree, clustering, principal component analysis, support vector machines. These are some well-known algorithms. So now talking each of the first one is we have that regression algorithm. So in the case of regression algorithm, that linear regression is one of the popular machine learning algorithms. So here another subpart of algorithm is discussed. The regression algorithm, it is a term, and in the regression algorithm, we are talking about linear regression algorithm. In the regression algorithm part, we are talking about linear regression algorithm. So what is this actually? First, we need to know what is this regression algorithm actually. So a regression algorithm that is predict the output values based on input features from the data fed into the system. So what is this regression algorithm actually? The regression algorithm is saying that it is to predict some output. It is to predict some output based on the input features. Based on the input features we are getting from the system, that is the data that is actually feeding into the system. From that we are predicting some output. So this is a type of regression algorithm. So regression algorithm predicts the output values based on the input features from the data fed into the system, fed into the system. So there are several type of regression algorithms actually present. Several type of regression algorithms actually present. We can say that the several types of algorithm. First one, we can say that simple linear regression model actually or algorithm. Second one, there is some lasso regression is present. Third one, we can talk about the logistic regression is present. Fourth one is we can that multivariate regression, multiple regression algorithm. This type of regression algorithms are present actually. So there are several type of regression algorithms, but the basic perform or basic task of regression algorithm is that we need to predict some output based on the data or input fed into the system. So talking about this regression algorithm, we are going to discuss here. We can see some linear regression algorithm. So we can see a diagram here. So it is a simple, if we know that it is a curve of y equal to mx plus c. It is a curve of y equal to mx plus c, a basic numerical expression. Actually, we all say that. So y equal to mx plus a, and that has been plotted here. And we can see after the plotting of that particular part, there are some values. So this algorithm, which is the method of modeling target values on independent variables. So some values are actually lying, some on this side and some on that particular side. Some on the this side and some of this particular side. Now think about y equal to mx plus c. Now putting some value of x and see this particular thing, getting the output of y. Sometimes it may be a positive value, sometimes it may be a negative value. So we are predicting some output. So depending upon the calculation, some are going to be positive, some are going to be negative. So we need to predict this particular output. So for a different values, whatever the values are input or fed into the system, depending upon the values on input, we are going to predict some output. So this algorithm actually helps us to predict something, to predict or forecasting any type of something. This algorithm is actually one of the most popular algorithm that is actually helping us to forecast something or to predict something, to forecast something or to predict something. So this y equal to mxc, this is a we can, so after we putting this particular value, we are getting some predictive output results. Since it shows a linear relationship between input and output variable, it is called regression. It is called regression. So it is shows their near relationship between input and output variable. So it is a linear relationship between input and output variable. So it is called a linear regression algorithm. Linear regression algorithm. And the below equation here, as we say that it is a y equal to mx plus c curve, where y is a dependent variable, x and c, x is an independent variable, and m is the slope, and c is an intercept, mx plus c. So putting the value, that independent value, that is the x, and c is some variable intercept value, variable or intercept value that is actually present actually. So this is our linear regression algorithm model. This is our linear regression algorithm model. And application where it is actually put, we already say that application of linear regression, we can say that it is used for any prediction or any forecasting some values. To predict something or to forecast something. To predict something or to forecast. So this is we can talk about. So the algorithms is for financial prediction, whatever the things, or some geographical predictions or weather predictions. this type of the predictions or realization traffic predictions, we can use this type of linear regression model or linear regression algorithm we can talk about. There are many several algorithms of regression, that is the lasso algorithms. Lasso, the full form of lasso, we can say that least absolute selection shrinkage operator. Least absolute selection shrinkage operator, that is another type of regression algorithm. And we use this lasso algorithm is to obtain the subset of predictors that minimize prediction error. So there are different type of algorithms, but we are talking about some important or some well-known recognized algorithms. So first one we have talked about here, that is the linear regression algorithm. That is the linear regression algorithm. Now moving to our next part, that is the decision tree algorithm. That is the decision tree algorithm. Before going to what is said, we can see a diagram. We can see a diagram of a decision tree, that is in the first header, that is the root node, and from the root node there are some leaf nodes are present, and it is the root node that salary is something is written that salary is between rupees 20,000 to rupees 50,000 or dollar 20,000 to dollar 50,000. If it is yes, then it is office near to home, or if it is no, decline the offer. Means a relation or decision has been made. So predict or to either it is true, then I am going to do that, or it is false, then it is declined offer. So depending on the thing, we are going to have some decision structure tree. Decision structure tree where the root node, it is the salary. The salary range is there given, that is from 20,000 or $50,000. It is a salary range, and then if the salary range is satisfied by a person, if a employer is happy with this particular salary range, then if he is choosing that, then it is decided that his home is his office is near to his home. His office is near to his home. Otherwise, this is decided that his office is not about near to home. If the person is declining the offer, then office is not near to home. In that, there are several type of decision can be made, whether the person is not happy with the job. Happy with the job means it is a given example I'm talking about. Then if it is yes, if the person's office is near to home, then the person is asking for some cab facility. If the person is getting some cab facility, or then if it is not getting the cab facility, then yes, again, then some decision, that is whether the person is getting cab facility, then he is going to accept, or if it is not, then he is going to not accept. So a decision is making here. We are classifying some decision. So this is called a decision tree algorithm. This is called a decision tree algorithm. So we can see based on some decision, we are building some tree actually. This is a look like a simpler tree. So this is called a decision tree algorithm. So this is another one type of machine or most powerful tool for classification and prediction. So this decision tree algorithm we are talking about, this is also another type of learning algorithm, which is also a part of a supervised learning algorithm. Before proceeding much more, that I have talked, forget to tell one thing, that there are the two type of basically algorithms, that is present of supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So two type of learnings are present, that is the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Two type of this average type of learnings are present. So talking about this two type of supervised and unsupervised learning, supervised and unsupervised learning. So what we can say, that what is a supervised learning? Supervised learning is defined by use some label dataset to train the algorithm to classify or predict outcomes correctly. So supervised algorithm, we can say that there is a previous large number of data sets that is actually trained, or the data we are going to work on, or the result we are expecting, the expected result is already we know. The data we know that how the things actually work, what will be the result, what will be the output, that is already known. So that is called a supervised learning. Means we know all the thing, and knowing all the thing, we are applying, we are training our data model. So that is called supervised learning. So such an example we are given that what should I say as a supervised learning example? Suppose I am trying to teach you people a subject. Okay, so before forget about that, suppose you people already know in your fourth semester DBMS. So that DBMS, that thing is actually teach by someone. A teacher has taught all of you this particular the course about DBMS. They have given you the idea of DBMS. So as a student, you are getting the idea from a teacher about the course, and after getting the knowledge, or after getting a correct structure or image of that particular course, you are going to apply it in a practical. So you are actually learning the thing first, where the things have learned, or you will have learned the things by someone. So this is called a supervised learning, or this is a process, or this is the one type of example in a supervised learning, we can say. Also means that we can from the in our childhood, we while growing up, we have started to learn that A, B, C, D. So you have seen a book or an image of A, that how a looks like, how a B looks like. So these are things that where the set of problems, or what the problems or the things have been put into your mind, that how the thing is looks like. So whenever you are seeing a shape of A, that a shape of like, or like the thing of A, then you can describe it as it is a or it is a B. So you can classify between A and B. How you can classify that? By seeing the shape of A and B, by seeing the shape of A and B. So how you know that this is A and this is B? The thing has been put to your mind previously. So this is called a type of supervised example or supervised learning. This is called a supervised learning. Now coming to other part, that is some unsupervised learning. So what we can say in unsupervised learning? So supervised learning means that we know the thing, and then it has been we are going to apply, or we can do the things. But in case of unsupervised learning, there is not any teacher present, there is not any type of teacher present who helps you to learn the things. In unsupervised learning, the person needs to learn the thing on his own. The person needs to learn the thing on his own. So such is giving an example in our childhood, that trying to learn a cycle or a bicycle, one person try to learn it by his or by her own credit. Okay, so he tries or she tries it to learn it by from own side, that I want to try a bicycle, I want to ride a cycle, so I need to learn first, and that thing is learned by the person itself. So that is called a unsupervised learning. Otherwise, we can also say that some of the students, I'm giving an example, that some of the students doing what, doing something or to try to learn some courses on his or her own credit. So that is called unsupervised learning, where the person is studying itself to learn something new, to learn something new. This is called a unsupervised learning exam or part. So it is also a part of machine learning, that is which patterns inferred from the unlabeled input data, where the data is not in your mind, how the things actually look like, we don't know that. We are trying to recognize or learn something from a given set of data. We are trying to find out some pattern from that unknown data set, where we don't know any type of pattern or any type of any kind of thing. So this is called a unsupervised learning. This is called a unsupervised learning. Okay, so this type of two learnings are actually present, supervised and unsupervised learning. So while talking about the supervised and unsupervised learning, we can have a broad differentiation on that. That is, supervised learning algorithms are trained using some data, and unsupervised learnings are trained using some unlabeled data. We don't know the data, or we don't have an exact uh, shape or exact pattern of that particular data. So supervised learning helps us to model, predict the output, or unsupervised learning models finds the hidden pattern in the data. So we are in supervised learning, we are actually trying to predict some output, and in unsupervised learning, we are trying to find the pattern of the data. We are trying to find the pattern of the data first. So this is the thing of supervised and unsupervised learning. So this is another part. Now we are coming back to our topic, that is some decision tree we are talking about. So this decision tree and linear regression algorithm model, these two are the part of this supervised learning. These two are the part of this supervised learning. So in supervised learning, we have the data, we have the pattern, and following that particular pattern, we are predicting some output. We are predicting some result. So a tree, here we can say a tree can be learned by splitting the source set into some subsets. So here a root node is present. Maybe we can call it as a source. So by this particular source, from this particular source, we are creating some subsource. We are creating some subset of that particular root set, and we are going to split it in later part, so that we can have a predicted output. We can have a predicted output. So it can be learned by splitting the source set into subset based on the attribute value trace. So this process we can say is a repeated process, or each derived subset in a recursive manner. So we are actually splitting that particular thing. So the construction of this particular decision tree classifier does not have something, we can just doing what we are actually splitting the values. We are actually splitting the values. We are actually splitting the data to differentiate between whatever the data to if we can have some more pattern, if we can have some more particular subset of those particular data, we can have some more particular subset of this particular data. So why, what are the strengths, or why this decision tree algorithm is a powerful tool in the case of machine learning algorithm? So we can see the diagram here in the decision tree. So by this decision tree algorithm, we can solve, or by using this tree representation, each node represents a feature, or you can characteristic, we can say. Each branch represents a decision, we can say, and each list represented the outcome. So by categorizing this particular thing, we have some three things. First one are representing a decision, we can have a feature, and we can have an outcome. So these three things can be done. So why this decision tree algorithm is a powerful tool in the case of machine learning or in the case of data science? Okay, so what is the thing? So decision tree, with the help of this decision tree particularly, we are able to generate some understanding rules. We can able to generate some understanding rules by splitting the data, by making some subset of those particular data. It performs the classification without requiring much computation. So we can easily classify. We can easily classify the data. We can easily classify the data. So it is very easy, or it provides a clear indication of which fields are most important for prediction or classification. So by subcategorizing each of this particular part, we can have a clear indication of which field is the most important, or for prediction or classification. So this is the thing for data, the decision tree, that is for data science. So this helps us subcategorize. So we can split the data more. We can go more depth of the data. We can go work on the data in much depth actually. But there are some weakness also for this decision tree. That is that it is a less appropriate for estimation tasks, where the goal is to predict some value of a continuous attribute. So here the decision tree is weak in some cases, that we cannot have some particular values of appropriate estimation tasks. Okay, so it are prone to errors in classification problem with many class. So while it is a many class, so there are some problems to identify the things, or to classify the things in broader term. So this is the part of decision tree, or this is the part of another powerful tool in the case of data science and machine learning. In the case of data science and machine learning, that is a decision tree. Now another powerful tool, or another thing we can talk about here, that is some clustering, or K means clustering. That is some clustering, or K means clustering. So before going to K means clustering, we will talk about that what is clustering, what is cluster. So by the term of cluster, we all know that what a cluster means. So clustering means that a task or a process for dividing the data sets into a number of groups. So suppose there are five types of data are mixed into a particular. So forget the five type of data. Suppose five type of color balls are available. Five type of colors ball are available in a large basket. So we need to segregate, or we need to separate each of the color balls. So by separate, or by segregating each of the color box, by segregating each of the color sets with the help of the color. So the feature is here. The feature we are working on here, that is the color. So with the help of color, we are subcategorizing the balls. So this is called, after subcategorizing each of the balls, each of the group of the balls, we are making it some five type of different groups. So five type of balls are mixed with each other. So after dividing, or after subcategorizing each of the balls, we have made some five groups, or that five groups is called a cluster. So each of the group calls a cluster. So cluster means a group of, or a set of groups. So this clustering is the task of dividing the population or some data points into a number of groups, such that the data points or the features of the data points are similar in some kind, So by the help of this clustering, we can actually divide the set of, or divide the groups, or we can split the groups as per their features, as per their features. So clustering is a part of unsupervised machine learning method for identifying and grouping similar data points. So here, look that by the thing of clustering, we are doing actually extracting some features. We are first finding some features and then we are making it in some group. So when the data set of mixed data set is given, actually suppose a large basketball is given, basket is given where 5 type of balls are present or mixed with each other. So we don't know any type of pattern. So we are looking into the data. We are looking into the basket. Then what is there? So after looking into the basket, we have seen that there are balls with some different colors. So then we are identifying how much colors are present. So after identifying the color set, then we are able to subcategorize this each of this particular group or clusters. So that's why it is called an unsupervised learning method. It is called an unsupervised learning method. We are making some cluster analysis here. So in this particular cluster, in this particular clustering topic, there are some k-means clustering algorithms are present. There are some k-means clustering algorithms are present. So before going to this clustering algorithm, there are different type of clustering methods are present. Okay. So cluster, we all know what is a cluster. So there are different clustering methods are present, such as the density based methods present, hierarchical based methods are present, or we can say partitioning method, grid based method. These 4 type of clustering methods are available in the case of clustering in the case of clustering situation. So one is the density based method, hierarchical based method we can talk about, partitioning method we can talk about, and grid based method. So I am given to that of this decision density based method, that is that it use the clusters as a dense. So we in some cases where some density is required or density have been as a features, we have found the density as a features. In that particular case, we can use this density based method. In the case of hierarchical based method, we can form a tree type shape where we can do a bottom up approach or we can do a top down approach to find out this particular data set. So in case of partitioning method, we can have a partition between each other or partition the objects into some clustering forms. Okay. And in case of grid based methods, we can space a formulated into a finite number of cells. We can formulate finite number of cells in the thing. So these type of methods are present. Now moving to the algorithm part of clustering, we have a well known or very popular algorithm for clustering, that is the k-means clustering algorithm. That is some k-means clustering algorithm. So in the case of k-means clustering algorithm, why it is the name of k-means? So there will be a shape of k. Means shape of k means there will be a line, k type of line or k type of partition have been done. K type of partition have been done where the data sets are differentiated into those 3 particular subcategories. So a K shape, if we form a K shape, so we can say if just let me draw first a K shape, then we can talk about just a minute. So look, this is a K shape. Okay, so if we are founding a K shape, so if we are clustering, then we can cluster a something, or we can after getting the feature, we can put some data into this set. We can put some data into this set. We can put some data into this set, or whether put some data set. So we can cluster the data set on this particular K shape form. So this K means clustering. It is the simplest unsupervised learning algorithm we can talk about. This is the simplest unsupervised learning algorithm we can talk about. So in the case of machine learning, it helps us to solve the clustering problem. So this k-means clustering algorithms actually partition the n number of observations into the k clusters where each observation belongs to each clusters. As I draw k and I have shown you that if we are getting different types of clusters, then we can put each clusters in some boxes of k. So we can have an n number of observations into these k clusters where each observation belongs to the cluster with the nearest mean serving as a prototype of the cluster, as a prototype of the clusters. So these clusters or this k-means cluster algorithm is very much useful in the case of marketing, by in the case of libraries, in the case of insurance. So this particular things, or in the case of city planning, this k-means clustering algorithm is very much useful or helpful. So we can here we can see an example given of some equation and this equation have been separated or segregated in each form. This equation is separated or segregated in each form. So this is the particular thing. Now we have talked some algorithms, we have talked about the partition of data science. So if any type of query regarding these algorithms or these things have been till now, please ask me, or whether if you people have any query of anything, then I either, if yes, then I am going to start move to the next topic, or if you people have any doubts till now, then you people can ask me. So whether if you people have any type of query, may ask, or I am going to continue. So as there are no type of query, then I'm going to move to the next part of this particular thing. Another topic or another scenario we have, that is, we have talked about data science, algorithm, machine learning, anything. So if we are getting a problem and we need to solve the problem with the help of data science or some machine learning algorithm, how we can do that? How to solve a problem in case of data science using some machine learning algorithms? Now we are getting some problems. Suppose in case of we are getting some problems, similar type of problems like this, that whether is this a or b, is this different? So this type of problems we are getting in the case of scenario, in the case scenario. So how to solve this particular problem? How to solve this data? So whether, suppose a problem have comes that whether is this a or b, means trying to some finding some type of pattern, finding some type of particular pattern. So we are finding some pattern, whether is this an a, whether is this an b. So we need to find some pattern here, we need to find some pattern, we need to identify some pattern. Then how to solve this particular query of is this a and b? How to solve this particular query, whether is this a or b? So this is the thing where this machine learning algorithms actually can be present, or we can actually look into this particular topic. So to solve this particular is this A and B, as we are talking about this classification algorithm, we are using this classification algorithm to classify this whether is this an A or whether is this an B. So we can refer this type of problems into two fixed solutions, such as whether it is yes or no. So if this is A, then we can say is it is true, or if this is not A, then we can say it is not true. So we need to find out this is this A and B with the help of some classification algorithm. So we are going to use for this type of particular problem, whether we need to whether we need to identify something. So this is called is where we are using the classification algorithm, where we can use the classification algorithm. Now for us, something is this a difference. So if we are getting something different from, we need to differentiate something from each other. So we need to identify that whether it's a different thing from this. So for that particular cases, for this particular cases, we can use the anomaly detection algorithm. We can use the anomaly detection algorithm. We can use the anomaly detection algorithm. Then in the case of how much or how many, so we need to find out whether it is how much or how many. In those particular cases, we can have a algorithm called uh, regression algorithm. We can use the regression algorithm here. We can use the regression algorithm here. Or if some problems have this type of thing, that how is the thing organized, how the thing organized. So to organize something or to clustering something, we can have a clustering algorithm. Or what should I do next? So suppose we have built a model, or we are working something, but every time we have failed. So suppose we are trying to solve a code, but each time we are getting failed, or each time we are not getting success. So what we do, we just check the code, we just go again, or start from the start. We are going check to each of the lines from the start, from the beginning again, and then the things goes on. So means it's a backtracking process, it is a reinforcement learning process. So there are five type of algorithms, or we can use for five different types of queries. So we need to first identify the problem, and depending on the problem, after identification of the problem, then we can choose that what type of algorithm we can use, so first we need to identify the problems, and after identifying the problems we need to choose we need to identify the problem. After identifying the problem, we need to choose our best algorithm for whatever the things will be. So the one of the main case we can talk about that, first we need to identify the problem. So this is the scenario, so where this data science can be applied. We have talked about these things, that where the data science can be used, that is the applications of the data science, that is some image recognition or speech recognition, data science in the case of gaming world, in the case of internet search, in the case of transport, in the case of healthcare, recommendation system, risk detection. In each of the cases we can talk about or we can apply this data science. So nowadays, in our real life, in nowadays, everywhere, in every part, this data science is actually getting engaged, this data science is actually involved. So this data science is, or this the part of machine learning, or this data science is a very much important nowadays for all of us. So we need to learn this because it is a trending topic and it is an important topic for all of us. So this data science needs to be very careful, we need to be very care, we need to take care of this data science domain also. So it will help you people to get an opportunity in the case of job, because very few, we can say that out of 100, 40 or 30 or 30 to 40 students are interested to take up the challenges of data sciences. Okay, so if you are trying to learn this particular data science, then it is very much useful for all of you, that with that you people can learn this particular thing, so this is an important topic we have to talk about, we have to discuss about. So this is the thing, that's it for today. So whether if you will have any query for this data science, then please let me know. If you will have any query regarding the today's topic, regarding anything, so you can tell me whether if you people have any queries. So I have done my part for today's class. So now it is up to you people, so whether you people have any type of query or not.
So, can you suggest some books?
Okay, suggesting some book actually are means it is actually a challenging here. Why I'm saying that, because as per the syllabus of GOT, there are some books are actually given, some books actually recommended, but all the things you cannot get at one place in one book, because it is actually a researching topic. So the research is still going on. You people can also start your research. You people can also do some research here, research work here. So just give me one day. I will choose what I will say that what will be the best suitable book for you people, where you can find all of the things. But as I say that there is a book of data science by the author of N.G. Aldrin. My book, there is a book that is the author of that book is N.G. Aldrin. I think I have the PDF of that particular book. I will share it with you people, so that you can have a look of that particular thing. Okay, so there are some books, so I will try to find out a book. Just give me one day or 2 day. I will search and tell you people that what will be the best suitable book you can actually go for actually. Okay,
Okay, sir.
anything? Any doubts, any query, if you will have while we are discussing this particular topic, do let me know. If you people are not letting me know, if you will have, if your people are keeping it in your mind, then it will be not be very helpful. Okay, so that's why I'm asking. If you will have any doubts or query, please ask me so that I can solve it. And I hope all of you have written down your name in the chat box for the attendance purpose. The notes will be available in LMS due to some power shortage problem. The LMS is not working currently, but it will resolve soon. And the time is very much short, so it will disrupt correct anytime, so it will get out. So the last message that is, please stay in your home and stay safe in your home. Take care. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.